Hi everyone, we are going to do a 20-minute grounding class today, focusing on our mind to body connection, our form, and just slowing everything down. If you are doing this as part of the January challenge, we are at the end of week 3 now. I'm so proud of you all for getting this far. We only have 1 week left, so make sure to keep showing up for yourself, keep pushing through. We really don't have long left. But I wanted to use today's class as an opportunity, as I just said, to kind of slow everything down, focus back in on our mind to body connection, and hopefully you leave week 3 and today's class feeling incredible. So whenever you're ready, meet me in the middle of your mat and we will get started. So coming down into a seated position in the middle of your mat, resting your hands down on your knees, rolling your shoulders away from your ears, lengthening through the crown of your head, and just closing down the eyes. We'll start by connecting to our breath. So taking an inhale through the nose, and then exhaling out through the mouth. Again, inhale, feeling the ribcage expanding out to the side. And then as you exhale, feel the ribcage coming back down, closing the gap between your ribs and your hips. Again, big deep breath in. And as you breathe out, start to connect to the core by drawing your belly button back towards your spine. 2 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale, draw that belly button back towards your spine. And then just breathing naturally here. Just taking the time to focus on the breath, to slow down the mind. So if your mind does start to wander today, just come back to your breath, using your breath as an anchor. Not worrying about anything that's happened today or anything that may happen after this class. Just spending the next 20 minutes focusing on yourself. Slowing everything down, really coming into that mind to body connection and being mindful of the movement that you're making. And then when you're ready, slowly start to open the eyes. Taking the right hand up overhead, leaning over to the left, feeling both sit bones grounding down into the mat. Opening up through the chest. And then release over to the other side. Left hand comes up, leaning over to the right, again making sure both sit bones are down into the mat, and then coming back to center. Let's take one last deep breath together. So biggest breath you've taken all day. Inhale, and then exhale, release anything that isn't serving you today. From here, flipping onto your back. So coming all the way down, taking a full body stretch. So hands overhead. I apologise if you can hear a plane in the background. Like I said, taking a full stretch. So hands overhead, squeezing your heels together. We're going to start with the roll up. So take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, squeeze the heels together, squeeze the inner thighs, using the strength of your core to bring yourself up. And then really slowly rolling yourself back down 1 vertebrae at a time. Again, inhale. Exhale, diving forward. Really slowly coming up and over those legs, making sure to plug those shoulder blades down into your back. And then really slowly melting yourself all the way back down. Last one, inhale. And exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, using the strength of your core to bring yourself up and over those legs. And then slowly coming all the way back down. Good work. From here, you're going to bring your feet in. So feet are down on the mat, hands come behind your head. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl yourself up, making sure your elbows are nice and wide. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower down. So starting to connect to the core now, making sure you're pulling that belly button back towards your spine, connecting deep into those lower abs, making sure to lift your chest to the ceiling instead of pulling on your neck. So head is really heavy in your hands, elbows are nice and wide, nice and slow and controlled. Just 5 more here. For 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. From here, you're going to bring your right hand over your left thigh, curling yourself up. Inhale, lower down. And then we switch to the other side. Left hand comes over the right thigh, lower down. So getting into the obliques now. Opposite hand over the opposite leg. Using your breath to help you. Exhale to come up. Inhale, lower down. Making sure that your head is really heavy in your opposite hand, not pulling on your neck. Making sure that your pelvis is nice and still. We're not rocking from side to side. You can do it. Just 5 more. For 4, 3, 2, last one, and release it down. Hug the knees in. Just rock from side to side. And then just taking hold of your knees, you're just going to circle the knees around. And then reverse, just massaging out the tailbone. And then from here, curling yourself into a ball, holding onto your shins. You're going to extend the legs and hands away from you, curl yourself in. So you inhale, extend, exhale to pull back in. If this is too much on your neck, you can lower the neck down. Just go with the hands and the legs, making sure to keep that lower back into the mat. Squeezing those heels together, really lengthening out through the entire body as you stretch everything long. 4 more. For 3, belly button back towards your spine. For 2, last one, and release it down. Just rock from side to side. And then place both feet down into the mat, hands come down by your side. From here, you're going to tuck the tailbone under, squeezing the glutes to lift yourself up into your shoulder bridge, pushing out through your heels, and then really slowly melting the spine all the way down, 1 vertebra at a time. Making sure that your legs are hip distance apart. Again, curling yourself up, rolling the hips up into your shoulder bridge, just holding it here, really pushing out through your heels. Shoulder blades are down into the mat, really engaging the triceps down into the mat. Again, try not to flare through that rib cage. So you're closing that gap between your ribs and your hips. Belly button is back towards the spine. From here, you're going to float that right leg into tabletop and then extend it to the ceiling. You're going to flex the foot, you're going to lower that foot down. Point to lift it back up. So you lower it down to flex, point to lift. 5 more. For 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold that leg to the ceiling. Give me tiny little lifts with the hips. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. You're going to place that foot down, shifting over to the other side. So left leg comes into tabletop and then extends to the ceiling, keeping those hips nice and high. Flex through that foot. You're going to lower the foot down, point to lift. So flex it down, point to lift. Only lower it down so it comes in line with the opposite leg. 4 more. Keeping the hips nice and high. For 3, 2, Last one. Hold that leg to the ceiling. Give me tiny little lifts for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Keeping that leg where it is. You're going to roll your spine all the way down. You're going to extend that right leg long. You're going to walk your hands up your left leg. You're going to pull that leg in twice and then switch sides. So you pull, pull and switch. Pull, pull and switch. If this is too much by holding onto the calf, you can bend the knees slightly and grab behind the leg. Whichever option is best for you. Try to challenge yourself. So you exhale, exhale, switch, exhale, exhale, switch. 4 more. For 3, 2, last one, and hug those knees in. Just tilt the head from side to side, releasing any tension in the neck. Good work. From here, you're going to tilt yourself onto your side. You're going to extend that arm long. Your bottom leg is going to bend in, so your knees in line with your hip and your shin should be parallel to the front of your mat. That top leg is stretching out long. Just placing your hand on your hip, pushing that top hip away from you, creating a little gap underneath your ribs. If you want, you can keep the hand there. You can place it down, or if you want a challenge, you can place that hand behind the head. Really lengthening out through the toes, so pointing through the toes. You're going to lift that leg up, lower down, lift and squeeze, lower down. Again, being really mindful about the movement that you're doing. We're not flinging that leg up and losing all our form. You're keeping that hip away from you, squeezing that leg to lift and then lower down. So you're squeezing into the glute to lift and then lower down. Still focusing on that core connection. So your belly button is back towards your spine, ribs are down towards your hips. Nice and slow and controlled. 4 more here. For 3, 2. On this last one, hold the leg lifted. We're going to go into circles, so you're going to circle that leg forward. Try not to rock backwards and forwards. So imagine that you're laying against a wall and you can't rock yourself backwards and forwards. Your hips are stacked on top of each other. A tiny, tiny little movement here. Focusing in on that breath. 5 more here. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold and reverse. Really lengthen through that toe. Yes, guys, keep it going. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest it down. Good work. From here, you're going to extend both legs long into a diagonal in the corner. So your feet should be into a diagonal of the mat. Your back should be flat against the back of the mat. From here, you're going to bring that toe up the leg. So you're going to draw a line up the leg with the toe. Then you're going to extend that leg up, flex to bring it down. So you draw a line up the leg with the toe, extend the leg to the ceiling, flex it down. Now, don't worry about how flexible you may or may not be. It doesn't matter where you are. The more you do this, the more flexible you may feel. So you point the toe to draw a line up the leg, extend it to the ceiling, then flex, squeeze it down. So squeeze those inner thighs as you bring that leg down. 2 more. Last one. Really squeeze those heels as you bring it down and release. Good work. From here, flipping onto your front. I'm going to have to keep myself up so that the microphone doesn't press down into the mat. But you're going to stack your hands on top of each other, elbows nice and wide, squeezing the heels together, placing your forehead down onto your hands. You're going to take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to lift the head, neck and shoulders off the mat, then slowly lower back down. Exhale to lift, inhale, lower down. If this is too much on your lower back, you can slightly bring the legs out to the side, not too far out, just creating a little gap just to help the lower back. So you exhale to lift, inhale, lower down, really squeezing up through that upper back, lower down. 4 more. For 3, 2. On this last one, hold it lifted. You're going to squeeze the elbows into the waist, then shoot the hands forward. Squeeze the elbows in and extend. Just 5 more, really squeezing into that upper back. For 3, 2, last one, and lower yourself all the way down and push yourself back into a child's pose, just releasing any tension in that lower back. And then flipping onto the other side, we're going to go with the other leg. So extending that hand out, resting your head in your arm. That bottom leg is bent, so your knee is in line with your hip. Your shin should be parallel to the front of the mat. Top leg is extended out long. Making sure to push that top hip away from you, creating that gap under the ribs. Again, you can have your hand down on your hip or challenge, place the hand behind the head. You're going to lift that leg up, lower down, lift and squeeze, lower down. Just enjoying this slow movement today. Not every session has to be high intensity. Some days we just need that gentle movement just to get our bodies moving. Still focusing in on that breath. Lift and squeeze that leg up. 3 more. Really pointing through the toe for 2. Last one. Hold that leg lifted. Go into those circles. Really pointing through the toe, so finding that length and space through the entire body. Making sure not to drop into that hip. You got it. 5 more. For 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold and reverse. Try not to rock backwards and forwards on those hips. 8 more. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it down. Making sure that your back is in line with the back of the mat, and then bringing your feet forward to the diagonal, pointing through the toes. Then from here, you're going to point through those toes. You're going to draw a line up your leg with your big toe, extend that foot to the ceiling, flex to bring it down. So you point, bring that leg up, and then flex to bring it down. Again, try not to drop into that hip as you lift that leg up, and then squeeze the inner thighs to bring that leg back down. So you're not just going through the motions with each movement, being really mindful of the movement that you're doing and the muscles that you're working. Just 3 more here. For 2. Last one. And release it down. Flipping on over onto all fours. Last thing here. From here, you're going to extend that left leg long. Your right hand is coming out in front of you. Both are down on the mat, making sure that your hips are down towards the mat, so your hips are parallel. You're going to take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift the leg up. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Making sure that you're not dumping into that lower back. So your belly button is back towards your spine. Focusing on that balance. Having a soft bend through your left arm. Squeezing into that back. Working on our posture here. just 4 more. You can do it for 3, 2, last one, hold it there. You're going to bring your elbow into your knee, extend, bring it in, extend, just 5 more, for 4, really find that length and space through the entire body, for 3, 2, last one, and place it down straight onto the other side. Right leg extends, left hand comes forward. Inhale to prepare, exhale, lift, inhale, tap it down. You got it. Try to make sure that those hips stay parallel down towards the mat, not opening up through that hip. Connecting into your center. 5 more here. For 4, 3, 2. On this last one, hold it lifted. You're going to bring your elbow into your knee. Extend. Bring it in. Extend, just 5 more. For 4, try not to let that form slip. For 3, 2, last one, hold. Drop that knee down, open the knees nice and wide and come back into a child's pose. Well done, everyone. Just taking a second to come back to that breath. So inhaling through the nose and then exhaling out through the mouth. And then shifting your weight forward, coming into a seated position. We will finish class, as always, with one last deep breath together. So moving the fleshy parts of your bum out the way, really grounding your sit bones down into the mat, lengthening through the crown of the head, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. We'll take one last deep breath. So inhale, lifting the hands up above your head, and then exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. And you are all done. Amazing work, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this slow, calm, controlled grounding class to end week 3 of the January challenge. If you enjoyed today's class, make sure you're subscribed so we can work out together again. And if you are doing this as part of the January challenge, enjoy your rest day tomorrow, and I will see you on the mat again on Monday.